All right, let's talk about one of the biggest headaches in the Salesforce world, moving massive amounts of data around without everything just freezing up. Today, we're diving deep into the tool that solves this, the Bulk API 2.0.
You know the feeling, right? You've got this giant CSV file, you kick off an upload, grab a coffee, come back, and that little progress bar has barely moved. Or, even worse, the whole thing is timed out. It's a super common, super frustrating problem.
And that's really the heart of it. The tools you use every day, like a standard data loader or basic API calls, they're fantastic for a few hundred records, maybe a few thousand. But when you start talking about hundreds of thousands or even millions of records, you need to call in a specialist. You need some heavy machinery. And that specialist tool is the Salesforce Bulk API. It was built from the ground up for one job, processing huge sets of data asynchronously. And all that fancy word means is that you hand off the job to Salesforce and you can go do something else. It works in the background and just lets you know when it's finished. No more screen watching.
Now, there are really two versions of this. You've got Bulk API 1.0, the classic. It's powerful for sure, but it makes you do a lot of the work, like manually chopping up your data into smaller batches. Then you have Bulk API 2.0, the modern choice. It's just smarter. It handles all that batching for you, uses modern authentication, and keeps things simple with a CSV-only focus.
So for that very reason, we're going to focus completely on Bulk API 2.0 in this explainer. Honestly, for any new project or integration, it's the clear winner. You get all that power without all the manual headaches. Okay, so what does it actually feel like to use this thing? Let's walk through the life cycle of a data load job. It's actually a really simple four-step dance.
My favorite way to think about this is like ordering food for delivery. First, you create the job. That's you calling the restaurant and telling them what you want. Say, I'm inserting new accounts. Second, you upload your data. That's you giving them your address and credit card info. Third, and this is key, you close the job. This is like saying, okay, my order is complete. You can start cooking now. And finally, you get the results. That's when the food arrives and you check the bag to make sure everything's there.
Now, before you even start that process, there is one major gotcha. Your data has to be pristine. The Bulk API is incredibly powerful, but it's not a mind reader. Your CSV file needs perfect formatting, the right line endings, the right delimiters, and you have to use double quotes if you've got commas or other special characters inside a field. Get this wrong, and the whole job is just going to fail. And I wasn't kidding about that third step being critical. This quote is straight from the Salesforce Developer Guide. If you upload all your data, but forget to send that close job signal, your data just sits there. Forever, nothing happens. Salesforce is basically waiting for you to say, go.
So after the job is all done, this is what you get back for all your successful records. It's a nice, simple CSV that gives you the brand new Salesforce ID for each record, confirms that it was created, and shows your original data. It's clean, simple, and super easy to work with.
But wait, there's more. The Bulk API isn't just a one-way street for pushing data in. It's also the absolute best way to get massive amounts of data out. And this is where the bulk query feature comes on stage. If you need to export an entire object, or you need to run a SQL query that you know is going to return a sea of records, bulk query is your best friend. Just like before, it runs in the background and completely avoids those nasty timeout errors you'd get with other APIs. Bulk query has this awesome secret weapon called PK chunking. It's a fancy term for automatically and intelligently breaking your giant query into smaller, manageable chunks. It's how it dodges timeouts. But, and this is a huge pro tip, if you add an order by clause to your query, you turn off PK chunking. Just like that. The query will run way slower and it might even fail. So for max speed, let's Salesforce worry about the order.
Okay, so you've built this amazing high-speed data highway in and out of Salesforce. The very next question you should be asking is, how do we make sure this thing is secure?
Because, let's be honest, with great power comes great responsibility. When you're moving millions of records back and forth, you're handling sensitive data. Just relying on a simple username and password, or even a basic API key, it might not be enough. And this is where we bring in the security expert, a protocol called Mutual TLS, or MTLS. Think of it like a secret two-way handshake. Normally, your computer checks the server's ID to make sure it's legit. With MTLS, the server also checks your computer's ID. Both sides have to prove who they are before any data starts flowing. This is pretty much the gold standard for securing important connections like this. A huge benefit is that you can stop worrying about managing IP allow lists, which is a total nightmare in today's cloud world where servers are always changing.
It's a core piece of what we call a zero-trust approach to security, which basically means trust no one, verify everyone, every single time.
Now, this might sound complicated, but setting it up in Salesforce is actually a well-documented process. You'll need to get a special certificate from a trusted authority, and then you can figure it all using a feature in Salesforce called named credentials, which is built to handle exactly this kind of secure setup.
Phew, okay, that was a lot to cover. So let's just boil it all down to the 4 most important things you need to walk away with.
First, when in doubt, just use Bulk API 2.0. It's the modern way to go. Second, burn that 4-step flow into your brain. Create, upload, close, and check. And please, please don't forget to close the job. Third, when you're pulling data out, use bulk query and leave out the order by clause. And finally, lock down your powerful new pipeline with MTLS. It's the right way to build enterprise-grade integration.
So there you have it. You now have the power to move and query mountains of data, and to do it efficiently and securely. This opens up a whole new world for things like data warehousing, analytics, and just massive system integrations. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?